Hi, everybody. My name is Bill Soroka. I'm the founder of NotaryCoach.com and the Sign and Thrive Notary Training Course, How to Make Six Figures as a Mobile Notary and Signing Agent for the Mortgage Industry. Today, in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about what it actually takes to make six figures as a mobile notary and signing agent. I get lots of questions about this, obviously, and that's totally understandable. So what I'm going to do for you here is basically teach you how to reverse engineer the goal so we can kind of break down the exact numbers that it actually takes to make $100,000 a year as a mobile notary and signing agent, as well as the exact steps that you'd have to take in order to make those numbers happen. So let's dive in and take a look at it. So um, the name of my course is called Sign and Thrive, How to Make Six Figures as a Mobile Notary and Signing Agent for the Mortgage Industry. And the reason that I love talking about this particular job, and I love what I do, and I love sharing that with you as well, but there's three main attributes that it has, and I get to kind of demonstrate a few of those for you today. The first one being that this job allows, or this business I should say, allows for a very flexible schedule. So even to demonstrate that, I'm actually on vacation this weekend, rented a home outside of the big city so we could relax and have some fun for a special event. That also gives me a lot of time to focus on business, which I'm very passionate about, so I'm able to make this video for you too. But in a lot of jobs and businesses, this type of opportunity you would not have. The other one that we speak to directly in this video is the unlimited income potential. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to go out and make millions a year. That doesn't mean you even have to make $100,000 a year. Just know that you can make pretty much whatever it is that you want. If you just wanted to make an extra couple grand a month to help ends meet, you could certainly do that. If you wanted to go full bore and turn this into a business and make one or two or $300,000 a year, you certainly can do that. There's a lot of potential here. The other thing that's very huge for me in particular is that this is a legitimate business. So we're not asking you to go out and recruit people. We're not asking you to go out and sell anything. You are literally starting a business that provides a state-sanctioned business or fills a business need, I guess. Um, People need notaries. They need them for a variety of different reasons. So we're going to talk a little bit about all the other reasons and mainly focus on the signing agent side of that because that's where this particular course is going to focus. It's also where the most money potential is right now. So we get to kind of talk about all three of those for you. And I'm going to go over this concept of reverse engineering. In order to reverse engineer something, you've got to have kind of an object or a goal in mind that you're going to reverse engineer. So we're going to start with a goal. And then another critical piece to this that I know courses either talk about them a lot or not at all. Very little in between. And there's a reason for that. And you're finding your why and having your vision statement is huge. Like you can't skip that step, but that's not what this video is about. So we'll kind of touch on it, but we'll dive into that in a later module. So my goal with the Sign and Thrive course is to teach you how to make $100,000 a year or more doing that, a six-figure income. So what we're going to do as far as our goals go for today and using the numbers is the very minimum that you can hit to make six figures is $100,000. So that's what we're going to use. So just the very minimum $100,000 goal. Now it's also very important, it's critical even, that you know why you want to make that kind of money. Just making it for money's sake isn't going to do it for you. That's not going to get you out of bed and keep you fired up for an extended period of time. You're going to want a compelling why, what that money affords you, what it means to you, what it means to your family, along those lines. You want to really dive deep on this one because knowing your why is going to help you get through the challenges, and there's going to be a lot of them. It's going to help you make decisions on a day-to-day basis that's going to help keep you on track and stay the course to get to your end goal. And then it's also going to help build a supportive network. These are people that you might attract into your life because they can help you or you can help them and just rise together. This also is going to help you eliminate some of those anchors that you might have been keeping around for too long. Knowing your why, knowing where you're going and why makes all the difference in that. So that's all I'm going to talk about it today. But I want it to be in your head so you can start processing and thinking about, why it is that you're choosing the goals that you are. Okay, so let's take a look at reverse engineering in general. So we have our goal. We have our $100,000 goal. That's a big yearly goal. We're going to work our way backwards. We're going to break it into monthly, a weekly, and then the daily actions that it's going to take. So even though we're kind of working backwards on this particular list with the yearly goal, monthly goal, weekly, and daily, that's basically setting up a map for you so you could take these steps every single day and accomplish this goal. That's the idea behind it. So here we are at our $100,000 goal. And to work our way back, the average signing fee across the nation is about $100. Depending on what market city you're in, that is going to vary. It happens that I live in a market city where that's pretty accurate. The average is $100. That means there's some that are going to be significantly lower than that, and then some that are significantly higher than that to find our median at $100. So let's look at the numbers specifically. So if we took that $100,000 annual goal and we divided it by that national average signing fee of $100, that's going to equal 1,000 signings per year. So that's what we know. We need to do 1,000 signings per year as a mobile notary and signing agent in order to get to reach $100,000. Simple enough, right? Now that 1,000 annual signings divided by the number of weeks that we're going to work. So I've chosen 50 weeks, just assuming that you're going to take 2 weeks of vacation. I know that's kind of a standard corporate model, but it could be anything that you wanted here. Maybe you want to take a month off, so you just divide it by whatever number of weeks you actually plan on working, whatever that is. To keep things simple, I'm dividing it by 50 so that we know that we have to do 20 signings a week at $100 a piece in order to be on track to hit our goal. So if we do 20 signings per week divided by the number of work days, and again, in this case, I went stuck with the traditional 5 days. If you work 5 days a week, that means you're going to need to do 4 signings a day. Sounds pretty simple, right? So if you did 4 signings every day for 5 days a week for 50 weeks a year, that would put you right at $100,000. So again, let's look at those. 4 signings at $400 per day, 400 per day times 5 days a week. That's $2,000 a week. 2,000 a week times 50 weeks. That puts you right at the $100,000 per year again. So it's piece of cake, right? It's simple, but I'm going to guarantee you that it is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it, and there wouldn't be as much opportunity here as there is. Number one, our fees would probably go down. But right now, we don't have to worry about that. Right now, we kind of have an industry standard. So although the system is simple, there are some things that you'll learn as you go through this that's going to put you above the mediocre level where you're going to be able to charge more and get more attention from the escrow officers. That's where the kind of the key to everything is. So the first thing that you want to do, and that I teach through the course, this is basically phase 4 of the course, if you're familiar with it at all, you really have to choose the business model that works best for you. And there's basically 3 different options there. You can just be an independent contractor over here, and that means you just sign up with existing signing companies and they just throw you the business, you do the signing, ship the documents, and you're done. The direct escrow option is where you basically become the signing company. So you are reaching out to escrow officers and title companies directly. You're harboring those relationships, you're building them, and you're getting the business themselves. Eventually, you grow to a point where you might actually have to hire other independent contractors to take the runoff business for you. I recommend, and what I operate on right now, is the hybrid business model. So that is a kind of a blend between the two. That's when you have a couple signing companies you might sign for, and then you also solicit direct escrow companies for your own business. So for today's lesson, as we go through this, I'm going to focus on the hybrid model. It's the one that it really makes the most sense, and you can take it and tweak it and do whatever you want on the side. But this is what has worked for me to surpass the goal, our big goal in mind. So trust that this might work for you as well. So what we're going to do for signing companies, you want to research what your options are in your particular area and start making a list. I'm a nerd, so I love spreadsheets, even though I don't know how to use them. It gives me a real organized list of what my options are. And then I want you to choose 2 to 4 companies that have a good reputation and that you're going to want to work with. Because joy and respect go a long way when you're working for other signing companies. There's a couple of different reasons for that, but just trust that you can be particular in this case. You don't have to just work for any signing company. You don't have to sell yourself short. You don't have to work for a lower pay than what's respectful to the whole industry. You don't have to deal with your stomach being in knots every time they contact you. There are great companies out there that respect you and the position and the role that you play in a transaction. And then they also respect your life outside of being a signing agent. So there's that joy and respect aspect of it. So there are a couple that have great reputations, one of which, the Zome Signings, is a company that I signed for, and I love working for them for the most part. You know, every company has its own little tweaks and twerks and room for improvement, but Zome to me really has it down. They've got an amazing smartphone application that makes them almost the Uber of signing agents. So I highly recommend that. They pay a fair rate that is respectful, and they've got the technology to back it up. So try them for one. And then the other one that I don't have as much experience with, but notaries from all over the country rave about them for the most part. Again, they've got some mixed reviews as far as pay and things like that. But it sounds like they've got their stuff together and they've got good volume as well. That's going to help you out. This is a great place to start out, and then go to your list and also find local signing companies as well. I work with one in the Phoenix area that I love working with. They're not large scale, so it's relatively small, but I love working with them, and I know that there's hundreds of companies like that throughout the country that you might want to try Googling or getting a personal referral to. The other strategy that's part of this is direct escrow. And with direct escrow, this is where you're going to go out and you're going to solicit your own business. This requires um, a lot of networking, connections, building relationships, and things like that. Now, here we're going to do something very similar. We're going to research your options, and you're going to make what I call the Fab 100 list. And these are the top performing either escrow officers or titled companies in the industry in your particular area that you would want to connect with. What you're going to do is you're going to build a spreadsheet again with all of their contact information. I try to identify as many escrow officers that work for the company as possible, and I use their contact information. There are amazing resources out there right now for this kind of information. So Google, of course, would be a great start. LinkedIn is another one. If you're not paying for premium on LinkedIn, that might be something that you'd want to invest in, because you can actually do a lot more searching that way in identifying these escrow officers, because that's who you're going to want to build these relationships with. So every day, you need to reach out daily. Now, as I had mentioned in the list, that you only want to work with 2 to 6 of these as an individual, because at some point you're going to get too big. But so you're going to reach out to them every day. You're going to find creative and unique ways to connect with them, either the escrow officers directly or the manager. So let's talk a little bit about that on this next one. But I also, really quick, just want to bring up this tip, and the reason that I include this, because I'm really big on diversifying your service portfolio. And all that means is you don't want to become so reliant on a refinance business, and then when the refinance market tanks, you have nothing to fall back on. You need to balance that portfolio. And within the loan servicing program, you have refinances and you have purchases. Those are the two main categories. You want to balance your client list with people who are making, they're doing closing deals in the refinance market, and then you have some that are closing deals in the purchase market. Balance those out. So if one market tanks, you've still got a little bit of a cushion for the other on that. So keep that in your mind as you are building your client list. Now, this is the build a network, and I kind of started talking this one slide too early on this one. This is actually pretty huge. So you want to build a network. So you want to connect with like-minded notaries. There's various ways to do that. You can do it through the online forums that are out there. There are networking groups, and if you're not familiar with where to find networking groups, meetup.com is a great way to find like-minded people within your industry, and you can even start your own, because I guarantee you that people are craving some sort of connection and collaboration as mobile notaries and signing agents. There's not a whole lot of people out there doing what we're doing right now, not sharing information. So if you can transfer that to your particular area, I guarantee you that people will be attracted to you. Also, another great place to look is Facebook and LinkedIn groups. Of course, we have our Sign In Thrive course participants as well. So already being a part of the Sign In Thrive course or just listening to this video, you are probably of like mind to a lot of people that are in the course. So soon you'll have access to each other that way. You're going to want to reach out daily and start building this network. This is probably one of those areas that most people just skip over and pass through. I want to tell you though why that's not a good idea and why you should be building a network from the very beginning. It's one of the core reasons that I've started this journey, starting the Sign and Thrive course and building a community of people that we can work with and collaborate with. There's going to be a certain point as you dive into this, and if you're doing your job and you're hustling and you're kicking butt, you're going to get so much business that at some point, you're going to have 3 clients that need you at 3 p.m. on Thursday, and you cannot be in 3 places at once. So you're going to need some people that you can count on. So you can refer them out, and you essentially become the signing company. You can set up whatever fee structure you want for that, but you've got to have people in place for that. You can't wait until that moment to have just start looking for people. You need to have built that up. You're building these relationships. You can count on them. Maybe they're trained the same. Maybe they're part of our training community, so they have at least a similar training background. Whatever it is, maybe you just like them and they're going to knock it out of the park. You want to start that from the very beginning and start fostering those relationships. Here's the thing. Your escrow officers that you built these relationships with, they're awesome, you're awesome, they love you, but they're only going to take no so many times. Very oftentimes, surprisingly a number of times, what I think is a strong relationship um, is lost when I can't be where they need me. Now that says a lot about the relationship in the first place, but it's not unheard of. In fact, it's pretty common. Some escrow officers go through signing companies like crazy because all they want to hear is yes. So if you can find a way to avoid saying no and say yes to the signing, it's just going to help your business all the way. And you're going to, by having a network of notaries and signing agents around you at all times, that's going to help you out in the long run. In order to build your network, you need to be a person of value and committed to a win-win relationship. So what I mean by that is whenever you approach people, don't approach by taking, approach by giving. Maybe offering them some support, some mentorship, whatever it might be, or just promoting their product or promoting their business, however you decide to work it. Get creative, get unique, just come from a place of adding value to other people, and you will attract the right people to your network. This is another huge one, guys, and I know that a lot of notaries are hesitant to this. But expanding your non-loan services basically means building a business that is not completely reliant on the mortgage industry. And the main reason for this, and the reason I put this out here, is this is all about positioning. We live in a good time right now. It's a great time to be in real estate for most of the nation. So we can focus on just doing the signing agent stuff. We got loan deals coming in all the time. It's keeping business going. But what happens when the real estate market slows down or just tanks completely? You're still here, you still need a business, and you still have a viable, legitimate business as a notary public, so you can still grow and expand. And there's a lot of ways to do that. So I encourage you to really think outside the box. It's all about, like I said, your positioning, where you are when the market drops or slows down or whatever it might be. Stay humble in your endeavors with this. You don't want to get too big for your britches when things are going really good, because in this particular field, as a mobile notary and signing agent, there are a ton of variables that we have absolutely no control over. So keep all of this in mind and always be investing in training and learning for yourself. Now, here's another big tip. Remember what your why. Especially when it comes to this, guys, because like for me, for instance, my goal, I never want to work for another person in my entire life. It's just not for me. I'm a free spirit. I like owning my own business. I don't mind working 18 hours a day if it's for my business. I just don't want to have to go to work for somebody else. So when I think about that, and I think, okay, so if the real estate market were to drop out, what can I do? All kinds of different ideas come in with me. And I'm going to share those with you as part of the Sign and Thrive course, because I think, again, there's plenty for everybody. But you might have to really think beyond just getting up, showing up, doing a signing, and leaving. There's a ton of options that we have as notaries and as people who are mobile in our vehicles. So keep all of that in mind as you move forward on that. Okay, so now we've got daily actions to hit the goal. Now we know that we need to make a list of signing companies and actually apply to them. And we just keep doing that until we've hit the number that we need. Make a Fab 100 list and begin daily outreach. So you've got a complete list of all the hustling movers and shakers of the escrow industry in your particular area and their phone numbers. You're going to connect with fellow notaries daily, whether that's virtually online or through networking groups. And then you're going to position yourself and learn additional non-loan services. So by doing a combination of these four things and scheduling it throughout your week, you are going to hit your goal of $100,000 for your year. Now, here's what's huge. You've got to plan your week. So use Sundays to plan your week. That actually is conscious planning time, where you're actually going to sit down and you're going to schedule things out. You're going to know exactly who you're going to contact, how you're going to contact them, and then when you will contact them this week. And you're going to follow through and actually do it. That's kind of the key and the missing ingredient for 95% of people is the follow through and the execution. You've got it. You're going to put this on your calendar and you're actually going to do it. You're going to have all your information, all the contact information. You can have the same email to the same person if that's the way you want to do it. If you're going to send a gift, you're going to have the same gift that you can send to everybody. If it's a greeting card, you can send the same greeting card out and just set up an entire connection that way. So you've got the entire plan on how to make six figures as a mobile notary and signing agent. Now, there's lots of other pieces to this, of course, and the huge core ingredients to this whole thing. And the only reason that this thing works is that you have to be competent. You have to know what you're doing. So that's why this commitment to constant continuous improvement, it's called Kaizen in Japanese. And that's where you are constantly, every day is a learning experience and you're just progressing and getting better and better and better. That doesn't just happen with experience. You have to do it consciously. You have to plan it out. So it does mean taking courses, going to seminars, rising above that mediocre level that I keep talking about. You have to put the time in, put the time and the effort in, and it will pay off for you. The other huge one is integrity. That's what this whole business as a notary public is basically about, is you are vouching for the identity of a person in a real estate transaction. So that's a huge component. The other side of integrity too is that you just follow through and do what you say you're going to do. That's huge on the business and relationship building side. People honor that and respect that. They enjoy working for the people like that. Which brings me right to our third option, is enjoyable. People work with who they like, just like in general. So you have to be somebody that has a personality that they enjoy being around. They want to bend over backwards for you because they like you, and vice versa. So keep those three core ingredients in mind. And that brings us to the very end of Sign and Thrive, how to make six figures as a mobile notary and signing agent for the mortgage industry. So I hope you find that helpful. Please comment in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer as many as I can. And good luck with your business.